shows were just huge successes. And the audiences, without exception, bar none, were the very best behaved we've ever had here. We had no fights. We had no destruction of property, no throwing of bottles, no vandalism. They were just extremely well behaved, and they were entitled to better treatment. I can just imagine if the same sweep were made through these grounds and on the adjacent streets at a football game. They'd have to arrest thousands of people on the street and in the parks. Ladies and gentlemen, you have copies of to the young people of Los Angeles and the surrounding communities who came to this concert. I offer my regrets for the harassment that they were subjected to last week during the Pink Floyd concert here at the sports arena. To Jim Rissmiller and Steve Wolf, the promoters, and to the Pink Floyd performers, I apologize that we couldn't provide a better setting for them. They put together an outstanding, absolutely outstanding show, and were deserving of better treatment themselves. To the working policemen of Los Angeles, I would say that I have great appreciation for the job that you fellas do. We want your protection and your surveillance. But unfortunately, you're directed to do some things that, in my mind, were just appalling. And that brings me to the irresponsible remarks and actions of the police chief in regard to this concert last week. I watched him on television tell 500 businessmen at a downtown meeting last week that we were operating illegally without a permit, and we were running a giant pot festival. That's terrible, I think. He cloaks himself in statements of law and order. We're for law and order. I don't want any illegal activities to go on here. I want the laws to be enforced, and we went to great extreme to see that they were. Our preparation for this was to get a license from the police at their direction. And to do that, it isn't like going to get a driver's license where you walk up and quickly get it. We had to submit an application and our credentials and say why we wanted a permit. And the police chief, in an aside, it's the harassment and the massive deployment, and even on that score, by remarks coming from the police department today, they still distort the truth. They say that Pete Hagan said that there were 75 men down here. Well, if you want to know exactly how many were there, ask the mayor's police liaison representative, Easy Burtz. We know how many were here. It was appalling. I don't know by what common sense rationale you arrive at that deployment, particularly in view of the fact that last week the chief said that he doesn't have enough policemen, he's working on a diminishing budget, and he tells people to arm themselves, to get guns. I don't understand that line of thinking. And on guns, yes, we did have one gun taken away from a young man here last week. He had never been to the Coliseum or the sports arena before, and he heard that it was a dangerous area, so he bought a gun that afternoon, and he still had the receipt in his pocket. So for all these statements to be made, and for, I monitored and in some cases they got some marijuana, and in other cases they'd get a six-pack, or others they got nothing, but they were still subject to the search. Other youngsters walking down the street, a massive number of police were deployed down here that was the only trouble we had. We had 5 smashing successes, artistically and financially. Can you imagine the repressed society, or see the seeds of a police state develop? And we need only look at the investigations of the CIA and the FBI lately. And in our own city, the dossiers kept on thousands of citizens by the police department to know that it's a very serious thing. I wish that the 500 businessmen who listened to
your calling this conference and attacking the police department.
Well, I can, insofar as the people at City Hall are concerned, I'm sure that they're with us, because they were the ones that helped us in our moment of need. Mayor Bradley, who's an extremely busy man, had me into his office to go over the thing, and he got deputies of his involved in it. The city attorney, Bert Pines, got his people involved in it. I went to John Ferrero, who's a city councilman, and on our Coliseum Commission, and asked him to please intercede with the police chief. And so I'm sure that a lot of people in City Hall are very, very concerned with what happened here last week.
Mr. Harding, what do you think motivated Chief Davis?
I have my own feelings, but I can't say why he did something. I know that he did not want us to have concerts down here at all, and placed roadblocks in our path for the year and a half that I've been here and trying to bring concerts here. You know, we did not have the big attractive concerts here that the other buildings had, and for a year and a half we've been after the responsible promoters to please bring their shows down here, and at every turn we ran into obstruction by the police chief. Now, he says that he wants concerts. He likes them. He wants them to be held, but actions speak louder than deeds. And you know, whether I can't speak for the chief.
Mr. Hardy,
Well, you must have some views about
ahead.
Do you disagree with that? I mean, do you think he was going beyond his responsibility?
No, definitely his responsibility is to keep crime out of the streets, and if detaining hundreds of innocent kids and separating them from their friends who were not arrested is keeping crime out of the streets, then I've got a misconception of crime in the streets.
Mr. Hardy, we were with Chief Davis a few minutes ago.
To is the manner in which they went about policing this particular thing. And to me, the intent was clear and it was effective.
Mr. Hardy, you said that there were 75 teenagers.
Mr. Rissmiller, I'd be interested to know what kind of feedback your office has.
It hangs on the wall in our manager's office over here.
If in fact you don't have any more concerts here,